The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you.
Call security! Ryan in Chicago. You're on Rover's Morning Glory. Good morning, Ryan. I like this guy already. I like this guy. This guy, wow. All right. Do people tell you that you are a goofball? Or
We met young Ryan Hoppe. Ryan.
Okay, and your name?
Ryan Hoppe.
Okay, Ryan Hoppe. Where do you live?
Arlington Heights.
Ah, so you're from the rich north suburbs.
What's going on, Ryan Hoppe? This is Tony Romo.
Your buddy Ryan Hoppe.
No one knows who Ryan Hoppe is.
You never have to worry about offending Ryan Hoppe.
Isn't he like 7 foot tall?
He's 7 foot tall. He's
a kid.
He's a kid. He's been trying to find his place in radio.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He's just, I don't know. He spread himself pretty thin.
He's
got good mentors.
and he's motivated.
Hoppe Hour is on now. Hoppe Hour is on now.
Well, guess who's back? Zach, you here? Zach? Oh, that's right. Zach has the flu today, but he will be back on Tuesday for the first edition of Hoppe Hour with our co-host Zach. But I'm here today because I've been itching to do this show. I've been wanting to do it badly, but I've had this weird lack of confidence where I go, how can I do it? I've been a little bit depressed, but I'm getting myself out there. I was an Uber driver today, made some good money, and I thought, why not? YOLO! Let's do a Friday night Hoppe Hour. Woo! Call the show, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE, and I will be sure to take your calls in real time. But the thing is, I don't have a phone screener. I'm not on the radio yet. Obviously, the goal is to get on FM or AM or Sirius XM radio. But since this is an internet production, some might say an internet radio show, I can't answer the phones and rant about the news. So when I say all phone lines are open, call me at 856-49-HOPPE. But maybe you're itching to get into contact with me. You're dying. You want to. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And you can get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio for any smartphone, any iPhone, any iPad. And you can listen to me anywhere in the world. Man, we have so much to get into. But it was so much fun going home for Christmas break. I went home to good old Chicago. I don't know if you can tell I'm from there by the amount of times I talk about them on Twitter, defending the city, and with my Midwest twang. I'm not sure if you knew that I was from Chicago, but I am from there. And it's weird visiting home because, and I'm not trying to be morbid or weird, but I'm visiting the house that I found my dad passed away in the back room. So first of all, every good memory in that house has kind of simmered down. And it's not like I think about my dad every second while I'm there, but I go, okay, this hallway was where the cops were at, blah, blah, blah. But the other weird part about visiting home is that every single aspect of the road that you drive in or the part of the mall that you're walking in, if you're walking down the mall or you're walking at the library or you're walking at the shopping center, wherever you visit from where you grew up, you have a memory of every single part of that place, if that makes sense. Like if you go to the mall, you have memories of hanging out with your friends outside of the ice cream shop, or if you go to the library, you have memories of renting DVDs, or if you're driving down the road, you have memories of going to school. What was weird about visiting home was that every single second in my head, I had a memory, if it was from 2003 when I was in 3rd grade, or 2006 when I was in 6th grade. It's very odd to visit home and go, oh yeah, I got my ass kicked under that water tower. Oh yeah, I used to sneak home and I would sneak into the house drunk in that back door, and my dad would get mad at me. Oh yeah, I used to rent adult movies from the library, not porn, like movies that are R-rated. And my dad would get mad at me. It was so weird visiting home and having all these memories come back to you. And the other weird part about visiting home is it feels like I talk to my aunts and my uncle and my little cousins and my mom all the time. I talk to my mom probably twice a day because she's by herself at home. I talk to my aunts maybe once a week. I try to do it more often, but time just happens. And there's just that different vibe between talking to them via text or talking to them via FaceTime or on the phone and actually hanging out with them in their living room or hanging out with them when you're walking around Chicago with your mom. It's just completely different when you have the face-to-face, person-to-person interaction compared to me being 1,000 miles away. They're up in Chicago. I'm down here in Florida. It was just very odd visiting them and just how quickly it went by. And now, before I get into my whole take on 2016, I want to wrap up my recap of the Chicago vacation by saying I was so sick and tired of hearing this. And this is nobody's fault. This isn't anybody's fault. But if it was a coworker, a friend, a random person, whenever I would say I'm visiting Chicago, or if I'm getting a haircut and they ask me where I'm from and I say I'm from Chicago, this has happened over the last 2 years that this whole momentum against the city and this vibe has really turned against the best city in the Midwest and one of the best cities in the world. Chicago is now known for its 785 shootings they had this year. And trust me, I am outspoken online and a little obnoxious at times. And people sometimes don't like me, which is fine. Sometimes I'm unlikable because I speak what's on my mind, and at times it's not necessary and it's not at the right place or the right time. But trust me when I say the two parts of Chicago, the east side and the west side, does not define that city. I was walking around every great part of Chicago and I didn't see any shootings. I saw tourists who were enjoying the city. Saw people loving the deep dish pizza. I saw people visiting the Big Beam in Chicago, or people visiting the Abraham Lincoln setup they have in Chicago, or people looking at the lights outside of Macy's at the former Marshall Fields, or people taking pictures in front of the World Series banner at Wrigley Field for the Cubs. I am sick and tired of the media just focusing on the bad parts of Chicago. I know with the Facebook Live thing that happened this week, and I know with all the crime, it's very, very easy to just pinpoint those parts of towns. And I'm not going to talk about this very long because then I'll just end up beating a dead horse. But trust me, I'm a man of my words. I would never lie to you folks. Whoever's watching this riveting show, I wouldn't lie to you. I don't like fake radio. I like honest, real radio. And trust me when I say Chicago is a city that everybody should visit in their lifetime. All right, I wanted to get into this too. And I was debating if I wanted to wait until Zach Townsend, my co-host and comedian, would be here on Tuesday because he has the flu. And I was debating if this was one of those topics I want to do with him. But next week it's going to be like the 12th. That's going to be the date that we're going to be doing the show on, the 12th of January in 2017. So we'll be 12 days removed from 2016. So there's really no point of waiting. Now, listen. Before I even get into my recap and my take on the year of 2016, I put up this post. And basically it was saying, quit blaming the year 2016. Everyone's going to die sometime. It just happened a lot in this month. It's basically that. And I put that up right after Carrie Fisher died. Now, maybe it wasn't the best timing, but I just kind of put it up because I just don't want to see those posts that were going on over and over. What is wrong with 2016? Oh my God, 2016 acting up again. Even though famous people have died since the beginning of time. And 2016 wasn't that bad of a year because we live in a good country. Say what you want about Trump being our president, but everything will be fine. People die. I'm sorry. And I put that post up. And I had people saying, oh, wow, you're being edgy. Oh, wow, you're being a shock jock. Saying to a radio person, and I'm kind of in radio, I'm in promotions, saying to a podcast that you're a shock jock is like going to a porn convention and going up to Lisa Ann and saying that she's a whore or a skank. It's the demeaning term of what they do. Like girls in porn are basically whores. Like they're having sex for money, but they're porn actresses. Same with radio. Yeah, a lot of times the outspoken format gets mixed up with shock jockery. But what I say is what is on my mind. I have never, ever said anything to invoke anger. I have never, ever said anything just to get people riled up. There's sports TV shows that are scripted. One guy takes the wacky side. The other guy takes the common sense side. You have those sport debate shows. You have the fake debates going on in news TV shows. You have radio shows that take the approach of the WWE, just trying to begin fights and just being rude. My show, I take the approach to make it as real as possible. So what I'm about to tell you is what is on my mind. I'm not saying this to make you guys feel like, oh no, we're going to die someday. This is what is on my mind. And here's the thing. And it's really, really annoying me. And I want you to call me 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. All these famous celebrities we know died in 2016. And everyone is freaking out. But here's why I think everyone freaked out. It was weird. You have all these actors and actresses dropping like flies. It was going to happen in some year. But that doesn't mean that 2016 was a bad year. If anything, Trump winning is worse than these celebrities dying. We never knew these celebrities. They never were going to be our friends. A lot of these celebrities were cocky human beings. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying they weren't our friends. It's okay to feel sad about it. But when you blame the year, it is the most repetitive and lame narrative I've ever heard. And I think this all comes from the fact that when you see someone like Prince or Carrie Fisher, and they're larger than life human beings, and you hear that they die, it kind of gives you that vibe where you go, oh man, my time here is limited. I'm not going to be here forever. Because you go to the concerts for, let's say, David Bowie, or you go to see the sci-fi movies that Carrie Fisher is in, and all the movies she's been in, and they're just larger than life. They're performing in front of 70,000 people. She was in a huge movie, the biggest movie of all time, Carrie Fisher, and they just seem like they're never going to die. So when these famous people die, we all freak out, but it's just so annoying when everybody blame the year. Trust me, people are going to keep dying in 2017. So what, are we going to have a debate at the end of this year and go, was 2017 worse for the celebrity deaths, or was it 2016? Call now. I mean, get the hell out of here. I was just so sick and tired of hearing that. And then everybody was ripping into me. I was like, come on. When I said that to you, and when I said that on Facebook or Twitter on my show, do my words hurt you? Maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe you don't like my voice. Maybe you don't find me entertaining. Maybe you agree with me. Whatever. When I say a term or I say some opinion that you don't agree with, does it leave a bruise on your arm? Are you not able to pick up your fork at dinner and eat? Are you not able to put the key in the ignition and drive to work? Are you not able to plow the snow if you're up north? Do my words hurt you so much that you're not able to go through the actions during the day? Or are you just a phony baloney person that needs to go in their safe zone and is so bored with life that you want to pick on a goofy kid? I'm not playing the victim card. I'm just saying, I'm being outspoken, and then everyone goes, oh my God, Hoppy, no way. I'm just taking a different angle. It's how I see things. It's very aggravating. So it wasn't the year 2016's fault, and it won't be 2017's fault when more famous people keep dying. All we need to do, folks, is appreciate the moment. All we need to do is realize that our time here is short. Someday we will die. But guess what? We're not dead. Appreciate the moment. Don't blame the year. You could be dead tomorrow, or you could be dead in 20 years. But until then, keep listening to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Hey, what's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast and winner of the fight against Jake Herron of the Crowded Table in the Mike Calta Punch-Out. And the main reason that I won that fight was because of the training that I got from Main Event Boxing in St. Petersburg. And now maybe you're not even going into a boxing match, but you want to get into shape, and you're sick and tired of looking at your gut, and you're sick and tired of going to the gym and getting average results. And you're saying to yourself, man, how can I get into the best shape of my life, especially here in Tampa Bay, that you should have a summer body all the time. Trust me, I'm a man of my words when you need to go to Main Event Boxing in St. Pete. There are so much good things about them.
We'll be back in like a minute. Don't worry. Keep hanging out with me. I'm lonely.
Which focuses on every part of your body and conditioning. They will make sure they will now wear you out, and each day is a different workout, and they really do care about seeing the progress you have as a person and with the muscles you will gain after coming to Main Event Boxing. To get into contact with them, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is call Josh, the owner and trainer, at 727-564-3948. That's 727-564-3948. And you can visit them in person at 2575 28th Avenue North, and that's in St. Petersburg. Trust me when I say Main Event Boxing is the best in the Bay.
Call Hoppe, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773.
If you didn't agree with me on the last topic, and you're watching on Facebook Live, and you need to go in your safe zone, I don't think this next topic is for you. But I'm going to want to hear from you. 856-49-HOPPE. Oh, man. I can now wait for the reaction I'm going to get from people. First, I talk about death. And now I'm going to talk about marriage. Oh, boy, am I hitting the controversial hot topics today because I'm so edgy. But first, here's what I want to say. I like being on Facebook. It's cool promoting the brand of Hoppe Hour. It's cool having Facebook Live where people can watch it. I like Facebook Live. People can do what they want. Unless you're 4 dirty, rotten thugs in Chicago, then Facebook Live isn't really a good thing. Just had to say that. But here's what's aggravating as hell. Last weekend, or it might have been 2 weekends ago, whatever it was, the Ronda Rousey fight was on this UFC fan page. It wasn't the verified page on Facebook. It was a fan page. And every UFC fight that night was on Facebook Live. And it was some dude just filming his TV. And the whole mother effing night, it was set up. And Facebook never shut it down. UFC is a pay-per-view event. Bars can't even show it unless they pay for it. Most bars don't show UFC. So shame on Facebook for letting these guys film UFC. And here's where the rant becomes about me. And everyone says, I'm a narcissist, whatever. You guys shut me down when I play 20 seconds of a song on my show. So that's bad. The 5 cents that Eminem isn't getting in his residuals, okay. But you let these Joe Schmoes film their flat screen TV for 3 hours. It wasn't just Ronda Rousey getting her ass kicked in 45 seconds. It was the whole night. And it had over like 100,000 views. So how does my podcast, that gets right now 5 viewers, how does that get shut down for playing Eminem on accident? Oh, no. But you're showing a fight illegally, and Facebook's like, whatever. Keep it up. You're doing God's work. Kiss my ass. There you go. That's what you call a Hoppe hot topic. All right. I'm actually scared about doing this next topic. Oh. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Once again, I'm going to be getting so many people that are going to be so mad at me. And please listen before I get into this rant. This isn't about any single person. I'm not ripping into anybody. I'm not calling anybody out. This isn't about any single couple. This is about what I feel about marriage. This isn't about a couple that might be at work. This is not about any single married couple. And I'm saying that because I don't want any trolls or anybody trying to throw me under the rug and saying that I'm ripping into a certain married couple. Has nothing to do with it. But it's getting out of hand. There is never any reason. Oh boy, here it comes. You ready for the happy hot topic? There is never any reason anybody under the age of 30 should be getting married. And now you're saying, Hoppy, what do you know? What do you know about marriage? You're a goofball who has the Pornhub app on his Roku box. So you had to verify your email, and then you had to get it on your Roku, because you don't get laid much. You had one girlfriend that said she was the Kim Kardashian of Pinellas Park. Hoppy, you're a weird guy. You don't know the emotions of love, of loving a girl. That's right. I know the emotions of loving my aunts, my uncles, my mom, my dad, my cats, whatever. But I do know this. I see married couples all the time. Now, luckily, and I'll say this lightly, I have one family member that had a really, really dirty and gross, rough divorce. So I've seen that bad type of divorce. But the rest of my family members have good marriages, but they're grumpy as hell. And every single one of them, I had a poll with them. I went up to every married couple at the Christmas party, and there was over 12 married couples at this Christmas party, the Hoppe family Christmas party. And I said, should kids in their 20s be getting married? I'm not lying to you. I'm not just saying that just to boost up my rant. Trust me when I say every single married couple said, no, wait until you're in your 30s. It's getting out of control. Kids my age, and I'm a millennial, in their 20s and late 20s are getting married. Huh? Are you out of your mind? You're 5 years removed from high school. You've been with the girl for a maximum of a half a decade, and you already know you want to spend the rest of your life with her? So that means you've been with her since 2011. So you know that you want to be with her until 2052 when you die, whatever age, in the next 40 years. And I found this. And people seem to agree with me online. I'm not saying I need people to agree with me to boost my point. I'm just saying I found a bunch of articles about it. All I did on Google was type in, it's dumb to get married in your 20s. And I found countless articles. And I found this one that had a list of 10 reasons why kids should not be getting married in their 20s. And it literally was what I was trying to say. And it helped me get this prep. All right. You never know where your job and your career might take you. Exactly. You never know if the girl you're with, and this is just common sense, people are going to call in 856-49-HOPPY and say, but you've never lived with a girl. So what do you know, Hoppy? What do you know? Trust me. What if you get a job making $300,000 a year at the age of 26? It's possible. Anything can happen in life. Well, your girl is settled as her job and doesn't want to move, and her parents live in whatever city you live in. If you were 26 years old and not married, you could break up and say sorry or have a long-term relationship, whatever. But when you're married, you have to do things equally. It's a partnership. I just don't think kids my age are thinking that. I almost think this, and this is another controversial Hoppy hot topic. I almost think kids my age get married just for the image of, oh my God, he got me the ring. Oh my God, we're married now. I don't even think it's about love anymore. I think it's, they want to just have that thing on Facebook. Oh my God, we're married. We're engaged. He proposed to me at the top of the Sears Tower. How original. I just think people just want to have that image and they want to get those 1,000 likes on Facebook from people that have never talked to them in their life. Another reason why you should not get married in your 20s. you may become way more successful than your partner, especially if you're under 25 or under 28. Your career is just blooming. You're a millennial. You're just 5 to 10 years removed from high school. What if your job and your choice for your life, you do so much better than your girl or your significant other? It doesn't matter, man to man, woman to woman, man and woman, whatever. What if your girl gets engaged and gets married with you, but doesn't know what she wants to do with her life and gets content and then gets jealous that you keep climbing up the rope? And then what's going to happen too, which is also on this list, is you can't go out networking because you're in your 20s. You might want to go to a job convention, but no. Tonight's bachelor night, which usually leads to sex, but the thing is, it's bachelor night and you can't leave your wife, or you got to go to the book club, or you got to do married things, or she wants to see you and you're at work all the time. When you're married, you can't go to networking events. You can't just leave and hang out with your friends. And we have one life. Our 20s should be spent having fun. I'm not saying don't live with each other. I'm not saying don't have a relationship. I'm just saying have a type of relationship where you go, once we turn 29 or 30, then I'll propose to you. But let's just live out our 20s and have an honest relationship where you say, maybe it'll end bad. People need to be honest. Just saying. It says here you need to sleep around. And now, yes and no. If you're a conservative person, you don't believe in sleeping around. I think sleeping around is good because it gives you experience and it's fun. But that point isn't as valid because if you do love a girl, just be with her, live together, but don't get married. What's the difference between living with her and having her cook you meals and you guys lay together in bed and you love each other and you have a dog and you guys are dog parents? What's the difference between doing that in life, sharing the bills, but getting that wedding ring? I'm just saying. See this all the time. Everyone's getting married. Maybe the minimum is age 28. Call me. 856-49-HOPPY. Are you engaged and you want to bitch me out because I'm single and my girlfriend is Jill, my right hand, get it, jerking off? You won't be able to travel as much. Good point. Last year, my friend Matt took me to Orlando for the weekend after I slept over at his house after we had a night of drinking because I never drink and drive. We took an Uber. I was gone from my house for 3 days because I went out drinking with him that Friday, and then that Saturday, and then we went to Orlando on Sunday. If I had a wife, she wouldn't let me do that. Or when I worked in Cleveland radio, we went up to one of the markets they're on in, one of the media markets in New York, and I was gone for 3 days, and if I had a wife, I couldn't just leave like that. Or I went on a company cruise this week for 7 days, or I went home for 7 days, or I went to a job convention, networking for 3 days up in Atlanta, and I sat in on Eric Nagel's show on Opie Radio back in February of last year for 3 days. I was up in New York. If I had a girl, I wouldn't be able to go. I actually was debating about bringing my ex, the Kim Kardashian, as she said, of Largo, Florida, Pinellas Park. It was so great, too. I'm a weird, awkward guy, and I get myself in these weird positions. And at the 1025 The Bone Toy Drive, Drew Saves Christmas last month at the Walmart in Pinellas Park, home of Kim Kardashian, my ex, her parents come up to Drew, and Drew's talked about this on air, so it happened. So great. And they go, yeah, we were that couple that got married, and we talked to you on air, and Drew knew. Drew has a great memory. He's great with listeners. And then they supposedly said to Drew, and you know Ryan Hoppe? And Drew's like, yeah. And they go, yeah, he used to blast my daughter. That's the person I would waste my weekends hanging out with and not hanging out with friends. Can only imagine if our relationship went further and I got married. It says you'll miss the time to have with your male friends because you have to have time with your wife, like I was saying. And I don't want people thinking that I'm against marriage. I don't think it's the right choice for everybody. I don't know if it's right for me. Not because I want to sleep around the rest of my life, just because I'm a very, very selfish person. And that's because I never had any siblings growing up, and I could do what I want when I want at the house. So now I got to wait my turn. And now I got to kind of be patient. And I just don't know if I would be able to split the time. When I'm 40 years old, I'm going to want to have a really nice house and have a radio agent and a nice car. And on my flat screen TV with glasses, my 3D TV, my 70-inch TV. I'm not kidding. This is my dream. I want to spend my weekends watching Squidbillies and Aqua Teen Hunger Force as my midlife crisis. I'm not going to be wanting to clean diapers. Now, I know they say, oh yeah, once you find the right girl, you change. Oh, it changes you, man. I don't know. It doesn't seem fun to have to deal with their crap, no pun intended to kids, and you have to clean it up, and you have to scold them. I'm just saying. It says here, you also won't know how to be alone, which is a good point. Because some of these couples have been together since they were 18 years old. When they first were maybe sweethearts back in high school or now in college, they were together. So let's say you do get a divorce or you guys go on a sabbatical. How are you going to live on your own? What are you going to possibly do? And you'll meet fewer people because you have to spend time with your wife. And now trust me, I'm going to have people say to me that this was me being a shock jock and I have no heart. And because I've never been with a woman, I don't get it. Or not that I haven't been with a woman. I've done all right since leaving my house and working in radio. Which is annoying because it's not that women are fake. It just seems like they just talk to me because on my Tinder or Bumble account it says award-winning podcast and champion fighter. Yes. Before I put that, I would get no matches. Now I do all right. I'm no ladies man. I'm no Casanova. Been laid, I think, 7 times in my life. I'm just saying before then, I got nothing. Zilch. And it's fun having fun in life. Can't imagine having a relationship right now, being held down, being told what to do. I want to watch Squidbillies. I want to watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force. When my ex was at my house, we had to binge watch Fuller House just because I wanted to have sex at the end of the night. That's one of the worst shows ever. I'm just saying. And trust me, maybe it'll change in 2 years. Maybe I'll find the dream girl. And maybe I'll hit gold in radio, and I'll get that big break, and I'll get that contract, and I'll get that radio agent. And then I'll get the house that I'm renting, or maybe even buying if I somehow make money in radio. And then I'm going to want to have kids, and I'm going to look back at this rant at 10:14 p.m. East Coast time on Friday, January 6, 2017, and I'll go, man, Hoppy, you didn't get it. You didn't get the point that everybody should get married in their lifetime, especially in their 20s. But until then, I'm pretty confident when I say to you guys, wait it out.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
What a riveting setup. I had my phone hanging off. It dropped. I'll be back in like a minute. Hang on. I appreciate you guys watching on this Friday night.
From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Hoppe Hour. Shut up!
Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. It's funny, this whole beef between Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. I put up a tweet that was so riveting and so original. It said this would be a big deal if it was 2007. I mean, remember Soulja Boy? He was like the Watch Me Nay Nay of 2007. And the only reason Soulja Boy is bringing all this attention to himself is because he wants to be relevant. Who has thought about Soulja Boy in the last 10 years? Has anybody said, oh my God, Soulja Boy needs to make a comeback? No, nobody has thought that.